5-minute trap. Pandas. Welcome to the stream, Pandas. I'm glad that you can join us today on this beautiful morning. Hey, make sure you guys fill out that poll. Let me know what kind of day you think it's going to be. We just finished the pre-market show and always have such a great time there. This is just a great time. We'll love to see you guys join the fam, the Panda fam. Hopefully you guys could also benefit from that. Over in the pre-market show, we go over all my off-stream trades and also all my count balances. Wrapping some things up here. Good morning, guys. Good morning. I don't know how to say your name. I don't know how to read Arabic, but welcome. Hello. If you can give me like a transliteration, I can try to read your name. Amin Jotoro. Good morning. I don't know if you're trolling me, but that is definitely not a panda in your emoticon. SW Blaze, good morning from Chicago. Nico, let's go, baby. Kevin Mack from Louisville. AGD, good morning. Health and Fitness, good morning. Speedy Boy, good morning. Yeah, make sure you guys drop a GM in the chat. Helps out this channel a lot with your engagement. Big Dude House, good morning. Laith Sanawi.
5-minute trap.
Turtle Toes. We do have a trap on the 5-minute chart, huh? Good morning, guys. Good morning. Yuri Zandi, good morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning. 0018. Good morning. Spawn Productions. Welcome back. Sanko Properties. Alejandro. Good morning. John Little. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Robert Fafadas. Good morning, Vlad. Good morning, Wyatt. Good morning. Alejandro says, good morning from Mexico City. Charles Wilson, good morning. Richard Harris, good morning from Zeta. All right. Pre-market analysis. What do we have here now? Ra-da-da, la-da-da-da-da-da. I mean, when you look at this, Pandas, what do you think? You know, do you think we're in an uptrend? Does this look like an uptrend to you? I don't know, it's hard to say. This is an uptrend, and it is it's one of those things when you look at it and you say, wow, the market can truly do whatever it wants. You know, anything is possible in the market, and I think honestly, when I see something like this is one of those cases where you're saying, wow, the market can truly do anything. I mean, when you look at the daily chart, I mean, we haven't had one single pullback yet, as in no candle has broken the previous candle's low on the futures market. It has done it on the SPX, the cash index, and it has done it on the SPY. But on the futures, actually has never broken the previous candle's low. That means we have never gone below the low of any previous candle. And that means that we are still one leg up. I drew this two leggy here because this is, at this point, the cash index actually made a pullback here and another leg up. We're in a curious spot as well. So we are hitting the top, right? This pivot, this major pivot here. And typically what happens when you break above a major kind of resistance, we can break above it, but oftentimes it'll try to come back down and try to make a failed breakout. It will try to do that. You have a high chance that we're going to try to make a failed breakout. Now, will it come and that breakout, fail trap, and that continues to go up? Maybe, but typically around these areas, I'm expecting a pullback sometime soon, probably within this week. But when I say pullback, I don't mean like it's gonna crash down like this. I mean it could just literally just break the previous candle's low. That's what I'm looking for. It just needs something like that. If that happens, then the market starts to get confused because it starts to wonder, is this uptrend going to continue and it's just a pullback, or are we going to treat this like a big trading range, right? Is this going to be a big trading range here? And hard to say. So we'll see. We'll let the price action tell us. But right now, we could just have a strong bull trend day today. I don't know, but in my opinion, we are due for a pullback sometime soon. Don't know when it's going to be though. So with that being said, I have nothing else to say other than we're in a really strong uptrend. And until we break below this channel, then I really would have a hard time to go short. But yeah. Look at the 10,000 tick chart. Does this make sense? No, it doesn't. It's unsustainable. It's an unsustainable uptrend, and it's happening right now. And it's actually still has more strength. Did it actually? Is this trap real? No, it's not real. A little too much noise on this chart. Let me get rid of some of these lines. Right now, this is the main focus. We're just looking at this uptrend. Multiple touches on the bottom. Now we have an overshoot, and typically overshoots lead to undershoots. So we'll see what happens here. We did a potential trap trade getting choppy here, as you see, right? This is getting very choppy. In fact, we have 4 pushes down, which typically means, reversal. So, pandas, to be honest, I don't know what's going to happen today. What can I say? The trend is strong up, but we could just be in a trading range the rest of the day here. I don't know. It could happen. It's difficult for me. So, I guess the obvious answer is uptrend. But for me, because we are at that major resistance, typically find some sort of pullback in this area. Typically, doesn't have to, but typically we end up hitting the top of this trading range marked by the trading range indicator. Gives a nice scalp here. I just know the 10K chart has not really broken this channel yet, and very difficult. You see how tight this channel is as well. Very, very tight channel. So in my opinion, that's very difficult to trade. That's very rare. I would say what's happening right now is it's on the rare side. This is like one of those 10% occurrences. It typically does not look like this. And so it's hard to predict, the market was going to do what it did yesterday, because it's very rare for that to happen. Like, this is not common for this to go up in such a way, right? Unsustainable uptrend. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. Glad that you guys are here. Really do appreciate all of you guys. Make sure you guys fill out that poll. I'm gonna close it up soon. Most of you guys think it's gonna be a bull trend day today. Yeah, that's what the market is making you think. That is, I think, for sure. It's just hard for me to say at this point because of where we're at with the price action. Market's about to open. Gonna close this poll down. Nico asked an excellent question. What trade are you looking for then? I'm actually looking, right? We're so late in trend. It's hard for me to go long anywhere off the 20 MA, but we can use, right, this midline here as support. We could also use the 20 MA as support. We can use the bottom of this channel as support to go long. But I need a little more price action to tell what's gonna happen. Right now, it looks a little too choppy for me. Even with this trap failing currently, let's see, but we're clearly above the 20 MA. It makes a point. It makes more than a point. Market just opened. We're shooting for new highs here. And with this candle, we officially made a new high. What trade am I looking for? It's a good question. I mean, I guess I have to look long and keep looking for long until it starts to fail. But yeah, I mean, this is why, you know, late in trend, it's hard to trade late in trend because you're always constantly thinking this is overbought. It just needs to, you know, pull back a little bit, and it just never does. It hasn't done so. So I would say right now I'm not looking for short trades. If the only time we really look for short trades is if we break below this channel. Even then, I'll be hesitant. Continues to push up higher. 20 EMA still acting as strong support here. Spawn production, you need to be on 622. 322 is way over. Expired. Good morning, everyone. Hey, let's get our bamboo today. If we do, and if it does kind of start to show some signs of reversal, I really don't know how strong the reversal is going to be. Clearly, we're breaking way above this channel now. We're just rocketing up. The market, I mean, maybe the people are getting squeezed, right? We could have a strong uptrend day today again. Who knows? Pandas, make sure you scalp that like button. Inside bar. Could have another push up here. Overextended. But the momentum is very strong going up. For me, I feel like we're a little too overextended. I don't want to take this trap, even though this trap has a high chance to make a point. But I'm going to skip this trap here. Trap does trigger. It makes a point. Easy. Showing how strong the momentum is right now going up. It's super far from 20 MA, super overextended, yet we keep bursting upwards. And at this point, you're just wondering, should I just buy? Should I just buy here, just keep buying anywhere? And you start to have the FOMO kick in, and you're wondering, I want to get a piece of this uptrend. Just need to find a good opportunity, and typically when the opportunity comes, it's too late. So we do have a trap burst up to the upside with 2 points, and then reverses, and yeah, I don't know. Just keeping an eye on this. Just watching. Diego27 asks, how do you recognize a trap trade? Other than the question the answer I can give, as in, with a two-legged pullback indicator, you can automatically identify all trap trades with magenta boxes. Other than giving that kind of answer, how do you identify trap trades? Is the question asking what is a trap, or how do you identify a place where there'll be a good time to take a trap rather than the second entry, short or long? I will go ahead and answer. Well, while we're waiting around, I'll answer both questions. So trap trades basically when a failed second entry, when the second entry, short or long, fails. So right here, you see if it's 2 pushes down, this should go up like this, but instead it goes less than a point or scalper's profit and reverses. So that's a trap. You have to be able to identify two-legged pullbacks, right, second entries, before identifying traps, because basically traps are failed second entries. And so if you can't identify a second entry, then you cannot identify a trap. But let's say you're asking the question, where's a good place to look for traps? I would say places like, this is an okay place, but we're above the 20 MA. Typically when we have a breaker trend to new high, but on strong uptrends like this, it's very hard to find the reversals are not working, right? There's no reversal. There's so many breaker trends to new highs here. But right now, see, if we have a trap here, I actually would be interested. If we had something like this happen here, and it makes less than a point going, for second entry long, I actually would be interested going short here. That's like a place where I can trap to come back down to the bottom of this channel. Right? Overshoot, coming back to the bottom channel. We're beneath the 20 MA. And so with all these things combined, it makes me actually want to go short here on this instead of long right here. Which is, it's creating an outside bar reversal. I don't like outside bar reversals, so I'm going to skip it. But it looks like it's going to create an outside bar reversal here. So right there is a place for a trap, right? Beneath the 20 MA, an overshoot, looking for the undershoot. We could actually have a chance here. I'm actually going to go short here. It didn't create the outside bar reversal. All right. If you're going to give it to me, I'll take this short. Looking to come back to the bottom of this channel here. Right? Overshoot, and this trap basically failing and reversing here, coming to the top of that channel. And I think I have my channels correct here, and so I'm going to take advantage of that, and hopefully we can get a nice short trade here. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right, we're in this trade. I'm gonna go for 2 points here. Decent place for a trap. Going for 2 points. Perfect scalp made. Looking for 2 points here. Mainly because it's a decent place for a trap, and I think we have a clear target hitting the bottom of this channel. And overshoot, right? 2 points. Let's go, baby. Easy peasy, easy money, and we're going towards that, going towards this target here, which is the bottom of the channel, right? Overshoot to undershoot. If I had a runner, I could still be in this trade, but right now I'm not trading with any runners right now. But that's a nice swing trade, right? That's exactly where you look for a trap. So what a timely question. Where's a good place to look for a trap? And that's exactly where you look for it. Coming back to the bottom of the channel here. H4 setup hitting the bottom of this channel. In my opinion, we have to hit the 20 EMA. We have to hit the 20 EMA on the 10K chart. Like soon. It has to be. It could be now, but it's just too far away. We do have an H4 setup. H4 setup. I typically like H4 setups, but no. Would like a higher low of some sort. I would like some confirmation that we're reversing with the H4. So I don't usually take H4s naked. So right now you'd be scared if you did take this H4 naked, and you kind of want a higher low. So if this kind of reverses and gives me a higher low second entry long here, I would consider taking it actually. We do not want to be lazy here. We do have a trend line here. I'll take this. Ooh, that's not the reaction you want. It's definitely not the reaction you want. Ooh. All right. Good thing I'm a little too slow. That is a very disappointing. You know, if you're long here, you're very disappointed when you see this, and so I'm just glad I'm not long in that. I'm actually very happy I didn't enter that now, and that's why I drew this trend line to, you know, don't be lazy. I mean, you have a trend line here that is acting as resistance, and that's exactly what it's doing. So slightly dodged the bullet there. Happy I did. Kind of embarrassing, but yeah, you know how it is. Live trading, these things happen. I kind of want to look for a long trade. I still want to look for a long trade, but we're still underneath this this trend line, so a little difficult. It looks like it's actually multiple traps to the downside, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 traps to the downside. Ooh, that's interesting. That's not very common actually, have 4 traps like that. Almost want to go short here now, but I'm gonna sit on my pause. I'm not eager to enter trade right now, but that is a very strong, 4 traps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 traps in a row. This 5th trap looks like it's about to fail though. First breaker trend, in my opinion. Maybe go long back to the top of this trading range. I'm gonna shoot for a long here. These longs are hard to get in because they trigger so quickly. Perfect scalp made. Is it another trap? Incredible. Another trap potentially here. If it triggers another trap, I'm actually gonna go short here. If this triggers another trap, I feel like I have to go short. All right, trap is gone. It does make a scalp eventually. Maybe come back to the top of the trading range. First break of this downtrend, looking for a new low. Yeah, that's tricky, but good signal bar. We're failed trap to the downside, and first break of trend, they can come back up a little bit, maybe back to the top of this trading range, but ends up giving a point there. It was hard to enter. I couldn't enter there because it triggered so quick. I just couldn't do it. So like I mentioned, overshoot typically ends up in an undershoot. So this is why we were kind of looking to hit right the bottom of this channel. And we're so close to 20 EMA on the 10K chart. I feel like we have to hit it. We haven't hit it like almost, from 12 o'clock yesterday. I feel like we do have to hit it soon. We are in a trading range right now. This is wacky, wacky right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 traps. And if you want to even consider this a trap because it couldn't even make a point going that way, right? You could say all these are traps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 traps. That's incredible. I did mention there may be a pullback right on the daily. There may be a pullback on the daily, so we could actually have a downtrend day today, or a trading range day today, and tomorrow it becomes a and tomorrow it actually triggers the pullback, but comes back to the bottom channel, back to the top of the channel. Okay. Channel could be a failed breakdown. I'm just surprised we have not yet hit the 20 EMA on the 10K chart. And I was expecting it to do that, but who knows? Is this a good place for a trap? Potentially. It's confusing now. We do have first break of this trend. I would typically look for a new low, but doesn't technically have to do it. But if it does do it, then you usually look for a reversal. I actually like the idea of going short here, but it's a little tricky to me. It's a little tricky because I have two things fighting. First break of this channel may come back up for a new high. Or first break of this trend line looking for a new low. Two competing ideas right now. And that's what typically happens, and this is why things turn to trading ranges. Because when you have right within the bigger trend, you know, it's an uptrend, but within it you have pullbacks. Now those pullbacks, people are wondering, is it a reversal or is it just going to turn into a trading range? And so, you know, you have competing things like this where, you know, are we going to make a new high because we have first break of this channel, or are we going to make a new low because on this downtrend, on this pullback, we still have to make this new low. So it's just difficult. What takes precedence? Usually the bigger time frame takes precedence, but I will keep in mind. So that was tricky. Some people went long probably at the close of this candle, and they just got stopped out right there. Right, inside bar it's getting confusing here, right? You have these, you have this inside outside down bar, inside bar. That's just getting a little confusing here. Almost want to go short here. I really actually want to go short right here, but I'll wait for a setup. The reason being is because the 10K chart showing a second entry long or second entry short, lower high, coming back down to the 20 EMA. That's what you're thinking, right? On this chart, you're thinking good signal bar, right? Trading range coming back down to 20 EMA with this right dark red number, which means it's a second entry short. You can draw for you. So lower high, second entry short, A, B, C, two legs up, come down, touch the 20 EMA. It's just like that's what it seems like it wants to do, but I'll wait for the setup on the 2K chart. Inside bar on the 2K chart, it actually does trigger that second entry short on the 10K right there. Triggers it. Potentially trap trade to the long side. Does push down hard. So that's what I want. That's why I was very tempted to go short there because of that second entry short here on the 10K chart. But the setup didn't happen on the 2K chart, so I skipped it, even though I really wanted it on the 10K. It's all good, pandas. So we did make that new low, right? Break a trend to new low, and yeah, very tricky, right? When you have a candle that looks like this, you're thinking, man, that could be another trap. Instead, it reverses and just strong bear bar ending on its low. We finally hit the 20 EMA on the 10K chart. Maybe come back to the bottom of the trading range on the 10K chart. we actually have a two-leggy on the 10K chart potentially forming here. We do have the break trend to new low, so yeah, we can actually be looking for an uptrend now, right? A long trade somewhere. This is typically where you find a trap trade around 20 MA. Typically, this is where it's at. So we have break a trend to new low. New low makes its own two-legged pullback. And now what we're looking for is something like this. Looking for something like this. A reversal trade, and that will also coincide with a two-legged pullback off the 20 MA on the 10K chart. What a good trade right here. If you're in this trade, actually, you still have a runner going in that reversal. So for me, instead of taking runners, I will swing trade. I will go in double position and swing trade one of the trades and probably scalp the other. And the reason why I'm doing that is because for me, runners are such a low probability event to have a really good runner. In my opinion, I'd rather just do swing trades on places where I feel like there will be a good swing trade, and rather than just guessing on runners and actually missing out on a lot of money, but giving yourself more risk, right? You know, the idea of the runner is, you know, the idea of it's nice, but I'd rather control it. I'd rather have a trade where I am purposely entering a swing trade because I think it's going to give me a nice swing trade. So yeah, not because I just think, you know, there's a runner, I just get lucky. I'd rather be in a place where I'm like, okay, I would rather have control over that. But you know, that's just me. You know, runner, nothing really. I mean, if you manage it well, runners can be good. But the problem is you're actually increasing your risk when you have runners. You have that one more contract that you're trading, and if it goes against you, it hurts you even more. And so whatever runner you have that actually successful needs to make up for all the times that you couldn't make money, plus the times you lose money. So runners actually are, you know, it's nice to have, but you know, you have to weigh the cost benefit. DJ, no, I mean we already had things about callouts. There were a bunch of people doing callouts. The only time you do callouts is if you can actually give reasons of what you're doing, such as there's a second entry long off the 20 MA, I'm going long. You know, you can say stuff like that, but if you just start saying I'm going long, I'm going short, then we're going to put you in timeout. Just because we've established this, the reason why is because sometimes there's a lot of people who can just call out trades, and you know, I know you might think you're really good at trading, but it doesn't really matter. You know, it's just you gotta consider you know, the precedence that, you know, that has to be made, because if everyone starts doing that, what ends up happening is the chat just gets overrun by people making these calls, and it just becomes nonsense. But if you can give like a good reason, saying, hey, I see a setup, like I want to take a short here and I want to take this trap, you know, you can say that, you know, and explain it. But if you don't give reasons for your trades that is mimicable, you know, then don't do it. Nothing against you personally, nothing against anyone personally. It's just, you know, the experience for the viewers. It's just like the chat just gets filled with all these people doing callouts. It's just, you know, I want to have engaging conversations with you guys. I'm not gonna call out anyone, but it's a mix of a bunch of people actually, and not only that, it's just other people are starting to, you know, a lot of people are starting to do it. Todd at Stone City Outlaw. If I have an Apex funded account, I want to add another one. Can I add a trade copier and have trades go on both accounts, the funded and the evaluation account? Yes, you can. The trade copier works on eval and funded accounts. It works basically on any account. Something interesting happens here because what we're supposed to have at this point is actually a long trade. We're supposed to have a reversal here. Instead, it has another push down. So something kind of interesting here. Plus, well, we did trigger the second entry long on the 10K chart, but it's below the 20 MA on after a massive uptrend. The only problem is on a 10K chart, this is the first breaker trend for me. First breaker trend, so you're thinking it wants to look for a new high here, but this is difficult. I mean, this is a good signal bar. It's a little underneath the 20 MA. Ends up giving a scalp there, so pretty good on the 10K chart. Yeah, this is when it gets confusing. You know, I know everyone's mind. We still had this, you know, we still have this uptrend in our minds. Like, it's not too far away. It just happened. And we also have break a trend to new low now. So, what are we thinking here? Are we thinking reversal here? Are we thinking we're gonna go back to our uptrend, or are we just in a super strong downtrend and I have this channel wrong? It could be like this, but for me right now, I'm gonna hold it like this. I'm thinking we're gonna try a reversal here. I mean, I would take a trap to the long side. I would consider that. Slim asks, can you work on multiple eval accounts with trade copy? Yes, yes you can. DX asks, Panda, what's your favorite kind of trap? I mean, major trend reversal, by far the best one. Major trend reversals, break a trend, new low, and if we have a trap trade around here, I'll consider that. I also like traps where, let's say like we had to break a trend here, like we did, and it came here, and we got something like this, where it looked like, something like this. It made two legs down. I actually really like traps here as well, looking for that new low. So, oftentimes I like to actually take the trap to make that new low when I'm anticipating a new low and it hasn't happened yet, but we have a trap going that direction. Basically, I like any trap that goes the direction of a clear target. I really like those a lot. And so for me, you know, it has to make a new low. So I look for traps, like after first break of trend, I look for a trap to the downside. But after basically the second break of trend, right, break of trend, new low, or new extreme, then I look for a trap to reverse it. So those two traps I like a lot. Typically, that's when I try to swing trade a little bit more. You know what? Trades by Man must be on vacation because I have an unusually high amount of viewers right now. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream, pandas. I'm glad that you guys can join us. If you are coming from Trades by Man, you will get a different flavor of trading here. We trade only the emini here. And also we trade pure price action. We don't use indicators. We like to read bar by bar because we are strong believers, or at least I am, that all the information that you need, you can see with the price action. All the indicators do. I mean, indicators themselves basically are just lagged price action indicators. You know, they basically give you information on lagged information. And so the philosophy is, you know, you're thinking, you know, with the price action gives you the best chance to know what the market is doing. And it's much like a language where the market's trying to tell you something through these bars. Oh, well, welcome to the stream. You are gladly welcomed here. We're getting a second push up here. This is where I will look for the trap trade, but unfortunately didn't really get it. Instead, just gives us a strong bull bar out of nowhere. Let's see if we can get a trap trade here. I would like a trap trade to go long here. But pandas, for those who are just joining, I'm Bye Money. And if you guys don't know what we do here, we trade only two-legged pullbacks. We trade only one single setup. We trade only one single instrument, the emini. And so with that, we try to make, we got a trap trade actually on a 10K chart. Wow, this is getting confusing. This 3 triggers on a 10K. But for me, it's the first break of trend, and it got typically look for a new high. Very confusing here. If we get a higher low setup here, I'll decide to go long. I'll try to go long here. If you want more information about our setup, you guys can go to the bottom of the description, and there are playlists going over the details of what two-legged pullbacks are. But essentially, two-legged pullback is when the market goes a certain direction, and there is a small, you know, there could be a pullback, and then we want to continue that the same direction of the original trend. And so these are two-legged pullbacks. 2 legs down, and then we continue the original trend. So that's what we look for off key areas. It's getting confusing though. All right, big bull bar, big bear bar. Confusion in the market right now. We also trade 100% risk-free using Apex funded traders. And right now, up 200, you know, and the thing is, you get to keep your profits, but they take the losses. And so you get to trade. Yep, it sounds almost too good to be true, but the business model makes sense because you have to pass an evaluation, and they get to keep commissions on whatever money you make, whatever profits you make. But the thing is, the first 10,000 you make, you can keep 100% of it. And so right now, there is a 50% off code off the evaluation that's going to end by the end of this month. And so hopefully you guys can take advantage of it for those who've been thinking about doing Apex. So please take advantage of that coupon. That coupon is in the pinned message. We got that lower high setup, strong push down. I don't think I mean, this is the spot where it's supposed to reverse, and you can tell the market was trying to do it. Right? Strong bull bar. The market tried to reverse it here, and it is having a tough time. Instead, it's just pushing down further and further, actually making a new low here. Right? This low breaks below this low. So we're making lower lows now. So in a spot where I thought we should have reversed, we are not reversing. Instead, we are continuing to go down. So this downtrend probably still continuing. It's hard to say. Hard to say. My thought is we're going to continue to push down further because in a spot where we should have reversed, we didn't. And typically when that happens, the opposite reaction is very strong. And so we should have reversed here, but we didn't. And so if we get a trap trade here, I'll probably go short, extending this downtrend. I think the downtrend is still in play here. Also on screen, we see all these numbers. This is basically a, since we only trade two-legged pullbacks, this is an indicator that identifies all two-legged pullbacks for us. Push up. I'm interested in actually going short here because we're in a spot where we should have reversed. Instead of reversing, I'm going to take this trap here, and it might be an outside bar reversal, but I like this trap. We'll take it, even with the outside bar reversal. Perfect scalp trap. Pushes up higher. Now it's confusing. Do I still want this trap? She kind of like this short trade still. I'm gonna take the short trade here. We're gonna push and try to get scalp here. Makes a perfect scalp. Maybe reverse here. Unsure. But I like the fact that we're in downtrend right now, and we made basically this fail second entry long here, and trying to push stronger down. But the problem is that, yeah, so we tried to reverse here, did it, and we're continuing this downtrend. So let's go, baby. Easy peasy, easy money. The downtrend continues, good signal bar. Also, could have been more. I could have got 2 points from that, but I'm just happy with the scalp right now. Could have got 2 points from that failed second entry long here. This is a pretty strong downtrend. I'll say that right now. It is pretty strong, but we do have that breaker trend now here. New low. So we'll see what happens. A big clue on that was that this, on the 10K chart, we actually have a failed second entry long here. A, B, C. It does make a point, makes a couple points, but fails to actually continue the original trend to make that new high. Instead reverses. So this is actually a failed second entry long here, and on the 10K chart, giving us a strong downtrend at the moment. Right now I'm up 300, which is nice. But in all honesty, I'm up a lot more than 300 right now. I'm trading pretty safe, and I'm trading 2 contracts, scalping in and out, and it's pretty safe trading in my opinion. 2 contracts, just scalping. Even one contract, I could even be trading 1 contract. I'd be fine with that. But being up 300 doesn't seem like a lot. But if you can make $300 a day on average trading, then you are on your way, well on your way to some financial freedom. the reason why I'm saying that is because with Apex you can have multiple accounts, and you have a trade copier, and with that trade copier, you can trade all your trades across all your accounts. And so the idea is, let's say you have 4 accounts. If you have 4 accounts, that means that whatever you make per day, you multiply that by 1,000, and by the end of the year, that's how much you'd make. And that calculation is simple. You just do 4 times 250, which is the amount of trading days that are in a year. And so that's 1,000. And so 1,000 times whatever you make on average per day, let's say $300 per day. That means by the end of the year, you can have $300,000 just by making $300 on one account, because you copy these trades across all your accounts. So, with 4 accounts, and I'm not saying I have 4 accounts. I would say right now I have way more than 4 accounts. But if you have I use 4 accounts because the math is easiest. But let's just say if you have any more than that, then you just keep multiplying. So, that's the beauty of the prop firm. I don't think the beauty of the prop firm, not only is it nice because you're not risking your own money, but I think the more powerful thing about it is that you can have multiple accounts and copy your trades with that risk being spread out through all your accounts. So that's the beauty of these prop firms. You can, it's just
10,000 tick trap.
We got trap on 10,000 tick chart. Strong push down. Lance Greyhand says, really struggling with revenge trading at the moment. Any advice? Revenge trading. That's like basically what happens. Revenge trading. The typical psychology behind it is that you kind of want to gain back what you lost. Not only that, you basically are going on tilt. And let's just kind of, I just kind of put those things all together in one category, right? You're basically going on tilt. Right? You're losing, and when you go on tilt, it means that you kind of get frustrated, and makes you make more mistakes, become more reckless, and you enter trades that you would just never typically trade or enter in, but just because you're on tilt and you want to make your money back, you enter these like very just strange trades. And so, how do you prevent yourself going on tilt? The first thing is to recognize it. Be able to recognize when you are on tilt. And once you can recognize it, that's the first thing, to recognize it before it happens. And honestly, the best way to do that is it's logistical. when you lose 3 trades in a row, you're basically, you have to just assume that you're gonna start going on tilt. Even though you feel okay, you're just like, no, you're gonna start going on tilt. And so everyone has different tolerances. But let's say, like, for me, 3 losing trades, I actually take several hours off. I don't even look at trading. I don't look at the chart, close it all down. And even though I might be down like $1,000, that's okay. Because the idea is, most likely, if you're trading that bad or making that many mistakes, I personally believe everyone is good at certain market cycles. Some days you're like wondering, like, man, I feel like Superman. I'm just trading so amazing. I'm reading this market like, the back of my hand. Like, it's just, I know I'm reading it like a book, and you just easily can see what's happening. It's like the Matrix. You're like Neo. You can just see it all. But some days, everything you do doesn't work, and everything you think is gonna happen doesn't happen, and it just kind of destroys you. And for some other people, those days that destroy you, they do amazing. And so I do believe everyone kind of has like a lean towards a certain type of market cycle. Now, the idea is you get good at both, or recognize which one you're good at and recognize quickly which market cycle you're in. And so I think, most likely if you're like losing 3 in a row, you're probably in a market cycle that you are not used to trading, or you haven't recognized the correct market cycle yet. Simply, trending, or trading range, choppiness, strong momentum, like whatever it is, you're not reading it right. And so that's why typically step away from the computer because you're in a market cycle that's you're just not good at trading. You know, probably need more practice. And yeah, I mean, other than taking a break, kind of getting your bearings back, and then not trading unless you know what is a good, well, you know, unless you can identify the market cycle correctly. So sometimes it's good just to shut off the, you know, charts for an entire day and just come back, and the next day might be the market cycle that you're good at, and you're just like flying, you know, you're just flying, just getting everything. And so it just really depends. I mean, strong downtrend right now, Panis. No entries, no second entry shorts, right? These are all first entries. These are two traps though, which are enticing, but came close to 240 SMA and not really interested in that. Came close to the bottom of this channel, not really interested in that as well. Yeah, and so the idea is, you know, if you take a day off and you kind of reset and, you know, restore your mental capital, and you don't have those feelings of like wanting to trade. It's like basically if you want to enter a trade for any other motivation, then this is a good setup. You are most likely on tilt. You know, if you have any other motivation, you know, that's why it's like hard to stream, because sometimes I enter trades for content and I want to make some content. I want to enter some trades for you guys, but in all honesty, you know, sometimes, you know, that makes me lose my edge a little bit. So a lot of times on stream, I take some wild trades, but not even that wild, but I'll enter trades that maybe I feel a little more forced than usual. And I also skip trades that I feel like I typically would enter. But the idea is, you know, if you have any other motivation to enter trades other than, man, this setup is the one I've been waiting for and I really like, then you most likely are on tilt. And I would say that's when you should start to recognize you might be trading, you know, you might be, yeah, you might be on tilt. So you might start making mistakes. There's a lot of you guys are asking questions, so let me go back. Juan Key asked, why not have one large Apex account versus multiple accounts? And that's the thing. I have multiple $300,000 accounts, and I have the largest one. The main reason being is you get to spread your risk. You know, you have essentially a trailing threshold that you need to be able to pass. And so once you pass that trailing threshold, then you're kind of like in clear waters. But it's very, very difficult to get in a place where you can get beyond the trailing threshold. And so when you spread your risk around, it, you know, instead of trading 4 contracts on one account, you can trade 1 contract across 4 accounts, and that risk is spread out. Much better risk. For instance, if you are like trading 4 contracts on one account, you can make maybe about 10 mistakes before you bust your account. If you trade 1 contract across 4 accounts, you can make 40 mistakes and still, you know, and you'll be like in the same position. So you're just spreading your risk. We could have a small reversal here, you know, a small pullback. This could be the second entry short approaching here that we might get. And I think we're in a strong downtrend, but looking at the higher time frames, we do have a H4 setup appearing. Right, H4 setup here. H4 setups, I like to recognize them because they're basically just two-legged pullbacks, A, B, C, and also A, B, C. Two-legged pullbacks in a row. That's why the H4s are good setups. The market loves to move in twos. You know, if you haven't noticed, the market loves to move in twos. And once it makes its 2 moves, then typically that move is over. Anas Buchaka asks, where are you from? I'm from the bamboo forest in the east coast of the United States. Gab says, first day in red, broke my 8th green day in a row. Well, let's hopefully this is only one red day in the midst of lots of green days. Yeah, that's another thing. Red days are part of trading, pandas. It's just part of it. You make red days, and you have to be able to take those red days on the chin. And as long as you can control your red days, right? How many times have you had 1 week of amazing trading, and then it just takes one day, and then you blow your account. It's like you blow your account one day. It's just like, where did all the rules go? Like, what happened to all the stop holds that you had? It just goes out the window, and you just have to learn how to take losses. Like, you might have a red day, and it's okay to end the day red. I ended the day red yesterday. Ended the day red I don't know, like $500, and I'm already up 300 today. So it's like I'm down red. I was red yesterday, but I'm already up 300. Already about to make up for it. And just you gotta make sure you're not. I'm gonna take this second short. Signal bar is not the best, so typically I don't like that. Typically don't like that a lot. Okay, might get a better signal bar here. There's a lower high second entry short, off our trend line, also off of the 20 EMA here. We're gonna try to get a short trade here if we can get it. Signal bar is not the best. Right, signal bar is looking really ugly. So when the signal bar looks like this, it's hard to trade. Right, gonna actually wait for this bar to finish. Most likely gonna be a bad signal bar, and I'm just gonna let it go if it is. Okay, signal bar most likely gonna be bad. There's only about 100 more ticks left in that candle. So yeah, that's part of trading. You gotta learn how to take the red days well, and know that if you stick to the plan, if you have a good system, and here we have a good system. As long as you have a good system, then you're fine. You're absolutely fine here. Ooh, terrible signal bar, but it just balances off our trend line. Also 20 EMA here. The context is pretty good, but the signal bar is really terrible. I'll take a trap trade here, though. I'm actually interested in this trap trade if we do get it. Main reason being because we have an H4 setup on the 10K chart, and we also have a breakout trend to new low, and perhaps can have a reversal trade here. That trap is gone now, and we're actually pushing strongly down. The problem is the context was pretty decent, but terrible signal bar, right? You can't go short on a signal bar that looks like this, ending on its high. Very difficult, in my opinion. I actually want to go long here. Is that crazy? Call me crazy. I'm going to go long here. Going long here. Coming back to the top of the trading range. See if we can get it. I like going long here because on the 10K chart we have a clear H4 setup and we broke above it already. And I'm thinking we're going to come up here and get a small pullback, but I could be wrong. I'd like to come back to the top of this trading range if we can. Actually, maybe I'll just scalp out here. Actually, I'm just going to scalp out here. It is semi-counter trend, and I'm going to scalp out here. If we can get a scalp. It might reverse on me here. It might be a trap trade to the downside now. It looks like it's gonna reverse on me, and it might get me here. Actually, with this reversal looking like this, I'm actually going to increase my goal now because it went down. I'm actually going to increase my goal. I know it sounds a little funny to do that, but that's actually what you need to do because your actual risk was increased. For me now, I want to increase my actual reward. Your actual risk was increased, so that's why I want to increase my reward. This actually goes with trend that trap. Actually, not a bad trade to go short, but gonna just take this trade and take it on the chin if I lose it. It is what it is. Increasing my reward because my risk actually got increased. So I know it's a little funny to do that, but you're actually increasing your reward helps you in this scenario. It looks like it's gonna stop me out though. Bad trade take, counter trend trade. Going into that, going into my trend line here. Also 20 MA. I liked it because on the higher time frame, we obviously triggered that 4K, the H4, which I liked, and so that's why I wanted to enter there. But it looks like this H4 is gonna fail, and I might get stopped out. But it's all good, pandas. We'll take the hit here. Again, might have another red stream, but it's not gonna affect me later in the day. It's just I saw a potential good scalp here, and it actually makes a perfect scalp, but it is what it is. And again, I increased my reward because my actual risk got increased. So I increased my reward. So if I don't get it, I mean, it is what it is. But you could have skunked the trade there as well, losing one tick, and that is your prerogative. Oh boy. Holding on to my horses. Hold on there. Am I going to get it? Oh, I really thought I was going to stop out. I could skunk it at any point in time here. But because my actual risk was large, I'm actually going to get a little bit more reward here. Let's go, baby. Easy peasy, easy money. Getting that bamboo. Up half a grand today. Of course, on multiple accounts. I mean, I'm up way over $2,000 today. And I mean, if you guys want to know actually how much money I make, I know it sounds like I'm trying to, like, you know, get money from you guys, but it's really not because of that. Trust me, it's really not because of that. But if you do want to follow me on my journey, see how much money I'm actually making on all my accounts, you guys can become pandas and join the pre-market show. The pre-market show, basically we go over all my accounts, all my all my off-stream trades. And so yeah, as I mentioned, H4 setup on the 10K chart. Beautiful setup to go long, decent setup to go long here. It looked a little sketchy, a little sus, but it ended up working out. But you do have to become pandas, and the reason why pandas I do that is because it's really not because I want your money, but it's really for me to know that you're supportive of me, because I used to show my stuff, right, my things just on this mainstream, and I will say one of the greatest decisions I've done was to stop doing that and only do it for members, because of the hate that you get when you make mistakes. It's like, you kick a man when he's already down, right? It's like, of course I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes all the time. And so, when you're that vulnerable with people who aren't supportive of you, it's actually like one of the, I think, unwisest things you can do. And so, for me, it's more of the fact that I know that you're supportive of me and that you want to join my journey because you actually are, supporting me and you're interested. And so that's why I only open up to members. It's not because, for the amount of money I make on memberships is nothing. It's not even, it doesn't even help me with anything, but I mean, it does help me with, like, let's say, I just say it helps me with my morning coffee, right? Mrs. Panda loves coffee. And so, it helps, you're basically donating coffee to me and Mrs. Panda. So, once a month. So I do appreciate that. I do appreciate the money. I'm not gonna lie, I do like it. Okay, I like it, but it's not because of that. It's not like it's very inconsequential amount of money I make. It's more the fact that I know you're supportive of me. That's what's more important. But let's get that bamboo. Let's go, baby. Easy peasy, easy money. Make sure you guys scalp that like button. Big push up. It kind of like I mentioned, like I actually increased my risk, which was like a little weird because you're like, why would you increase your risk? It looks like it's going against you. But you kind of actually have to increase your risk because your reward, because your risk was growing. And you know, if you're thinking long term, though you might lose on that trade, in the future you will make that trade. And so it's like that probability is, you know, lower probability, but you got to kind of make up for that. HCal says 1K away from passing 4 evals and lost connection in the middle of a trade. Came back the next day when the internet was back on. All my accounts were busted. Took me a while to get over that. Man, oh man, oh man. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. One, two, three. Ask, are you using trade copier? I am. So right now this is copied across multiple accounts. And we're doing pretty good today. Up 500. I was down like on stream like 1,000 on stream actually, but basically made up the money lost yesterday. So even though I had a red day yesterday, you know, I'm already green. So just stick to the plan, pandas. Stick to the plan. Let me throw a poll for you guys, so you guys can get a feel of how everyone else is doing today. Because honestly, sometimes it's nice to know when you're sucking that other people are sucking with you. It's sometimes nice to know that. So, putting a poll up for you guys. You guys can get a feel of how others are doing today. You know, tricky, right? Strong downtrend, but break a trend to new low, and that new low does create a trap trade here, and I entered long here with this good signal bar. Ends up doing a little cheeky thing, reversing a little bit, but ends up working out for us. We do have a trap to the long side here. I don't know if I like this trap. Coming back to the 20 EMA here. This is an uptrend. Currently we are in an uptrend, and it is a confirmed reversal with a gap. So it's strong uptrend. I know you guys might want to keep going short here, but in my opinion, we are looking for an uptrend. Right? We have a gap here from this push up, confirming this uptrend. So we need another. You know, I'm looking for two leggy, but in cases like these, oftentimes you only get first entries to make points for you, and so. I'm actually looking for a long trade somewhere here. But since we're looking for two-legged pullbacks, what we're looking for is our setup, and you can only take what the market gives you. And so hopefully, maybe we can get something like this. The Worldview Bro says, gosh, this may not be for me. Lost my second funded account. I'll tell you right now. Al Brooks, the godfather of price action himself. Does anyone know in the chat how long it took him to become profitable? Does anyone know how long it took him? Of course, I mean, he's starting from nothing, and we have the privilege to be able to learn from him. You know, he had to learn all his mistakes on his own and make this entire system of price action. But does anyone know how long it took him to become profitable? Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, most likely with strong uptrends like this, you only get first entries. So I'm not sure if we can get it. S&P Place is 100 years. I mean, he's basically 100 years old, so yeah, maybe like last year. Yeah, Nick is right. It took him 10 years to become profitable. So if you're kind of like sad that you blew your account, and you've been trading for like a year, you just learned about it during COVID. It's been like 2 years in COVID, and you're just like so bummed out. You're still not profitable. Just know there's people there, really good trades. It took 10 years to become profitable. Some of the best. So if you're still, working on profitability, we do get our second entry long here, but this is a strong bear bar ending on its low. It's very, very concerning if you want to go long. We still have a gap here. This blue box is tracking our gap here. What I mean by gap is that after a breakout bar like this, right? A breakout bar basically is like a strong bar ending on its high or low, and there is usually a gap from the signal bar extreme, right, into the next pivot. And so right now there's a gap here, right? There's this high here on this signal bar, right, still has not been tested. We have not come to fill that gap. So there's a gap here from, basically from like even this low here. You can use that, but we'll try to use a pivot here. Currently a gap here. I'm looking for one more push up at least. I'm looking for a new high. So I'm gonna go in with a second entry long here. This is a second entry long. The signal bar is not the best. I'll say that right now. Oh, it's pretty good now. Okay, I'm going in with a second entry long here, and it's off the 20 EMA, and we're going in an uptrend. I'm gonna just scalp a point here. Second entry long. The risk is about 3 points here, so I'm getting 1 point, so 1 to 3 risk reward ratio. And it is coming after a breakout and 20 EMA, good signal bar. And let's see if we can get a two-leggy here. It looks like it's going to try to get me out, though. Yeah, it looks like it's trying to get me out. I'm going to let this bar finish, actually. Makes a micro double bottom. I'm going to let this candle finish. I was willing to risk a little bit more there because I want the candle to finish. I want this candle to finish, actually. Okay, candle's finished. This actually looks good for a trap right now, but I will go long again if this trap fails. So right now, I could get hit here. And in my opinion, it was a good trade to take. I feel like we had a reversal, strong bull bar, and it was the second entry off of the 20 EMA. And I would, even though you lose that, it is a trade that I'm willing to take. It's all good, pandas. Right, because we already break a trend. Reversal setup around this area, and I'm looking for that two-leggy, and it actually just reversed here. So if this continues to go down, right, the gap just filled now, right, that gap just filled. Actually gonna look to go long one more time here. I'm gonna go long one more time here because I still think we need another push up. Signal bar is not that bad. Failed reversal essentially. Right, coming to fill that gap and bouncing off of it. I may swing trade this for a couple points. With a strong push down, right? No reversal. Let's see what happens. Starting to look like it wants to push down here. It could be a successful reversal here, like failed breakout, and just keep going down rest of the day. If that's the case, then so be it. I'm going to take another long trade here, and I'm going to try to swing this one. Something's wrong with my order here. It's a little wacky. It's actually frozen right now. This order is frozen. Okay, I couldn't really change my profit target because the order got frozen, but I ended up making the point. Right? I actually wanted to swing trade that, but because it turned orange like that, I couldn't modify it. So it made 2 points without me. It's all good. It's all good, pandas. Sorry about that, pandas. That's interesting. Okay. Break a trend to new low. We could look for an uptrend here. A little difficult to say. To me, this looks bearish. Like what's happening right now. We do have a break trend to new low, but looks bearish. So if my trading didn't get locked up, it got locked up right there. I don't know if you saw, but it got orange, and I wanted to move my target higher, but I couldn't because it kind of got locked up. It gave me actually a quarter point more because of that. Unfortunately, I wish I could have got more than that, but I basically wanted to make the loss I made that I got from this trade. So 3 points basically. So I entered here 1, 2, 3 points. I wanted 3 points the other way to make up for that loss, essentially. But I couldn't do that because, as you guys saw, my trade got locked. My order got locked. This gap is completely filled now. The gap is useless. We had a strong gap, right? That push off that gap here, strong push up, and then it's reversing. This makes me feel like we have more down to go. I feel like we're gonna try to break this low, but yeah, that was a little unusual. What's happening here? Okay, getting some push up now. All right, maybe not. Break a trend to new low. Could be this. Maybe we're looking for a long trade now somewhere here. I'm seeing the higher time frames. What do we have here now? Ride or die. A, B, C. Maybe something like this. But yeah, I I don't know about you guys, but I went back and watched the Will Smith slapping Chris Rock and yeah, that was intense, man. I don't know. Was he right or wrong? I mean, it's usually not right to hit someone, but I completely understand why he did it. But that's actually really weird, the whole interaction, because I watched it again closely. He's actually like laughing. He actually started laughing, and then yeah, like I could see he actually thought it was kind of funny. But then I don't think his wife was happy about it though. I don't know if the trades are still locked. Typically, I'll try to disconnect and reconnect here. Let me do that real quick, actually. Russell H says, would you slap someone for insulting your wife, Panda? What a question. What a question. What a question. No, I definitely wouldn't. I would definitely voice my opinion, and probably will get angry. I probably would not resort to violence unless I felt threatened, like actual physical threat. Then you know, that'll be the only time. Yeah, I mean, it's just because it's so subjective in terms of what you would consider offensive. But yeah, I don't know. I would but if there's actual physical threat, then probably, I mean, definitely I would react physically. Getting another push up here, interesting. I mean, I thought we're going bearish, but we have breaker trend to new low. Reason bearish because I thought we had a good chance to really go high here, and it just breaks down, but then it comes right back up. And so maybe top of the trading range. It's a little tricky, but I guess I'll take a second entry long here, and I would consider that A, B, C second entry long. Breaker trend to new low above the 20 MA now. Still room to the top of this trading range. If I include this, what would happen? Let's see. Ooh, big push down. This is confusing. I don't know. Okay. I mean, if you're gonna give me a good signal bar, I'll take it. And if you're gonna trick me, that signal bar is not good enough. We're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4 points of risk. More than 4 points of risk here. Little tricky here as well. Big push down, come back to the bottom trading range. The target will be the top of the trading range here. But yeah, I want to enter one more trade, but I'm not confident in what's going to happen here. It looks very sideways, right? We're going in and out of the 20 EMA, and so you're confused. I mean, I'm confused at least, and I don't really know what's going to happen here. But slicing in and out of 20 EMA like this, we can come up and come right back down, and you know, it'll be like 50-50. So unsure what might happen here. We do end up pushing up high, right? Probably looking for the top of this trading range now with a strong bull bar ending on its high like that. But we're gonna set up my pause for the rest of this. But pandas, hope everyone has an amazing rest of your day. But Kellyanne says, speaking as a wife, I will slap you myself if I am offended. Kellyanne, of course. I mean, let's let the wives speak up for themselves. All right, pandas. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Whiskey Wednesday. Hopefully I won't forget. But yeah, if you guys can join stream, you know, if we get to a certain light goal, we'll celebrate with some whiskey in the morning, in the AM. So pandas, hope you guys are doing amazing. It seems like a lot of you guys are making some money today, but you know, a lot of us are in the red, you know, as you can see. And so and deep red, you know, more than 500 red. So it is what it is. So pandas, hopefully you guys can catch your berries for those who are in the red. For those who are green, hopefully you guys don't get overconfident and enter trades that are silly as well. And yeah, so I'll see you guys bright and early, 9 o'clock for the pre-market show, 9:15 for the mainstream. And as always, happy trading and God bless. Bye.